Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first episode of the Catfish Podcast. The name of this podcast is called The Phish Bowl, and I am your host, Catfish. Today, what we have is we're doing a test run, right? We're doing a test run, so we don't know how this is going to work. We don't know if this is going to be the regular setup. We don't know. We don't know anything. But what we do know is that we have to experiment with a lot of things before we can perfect them. And the only way to do it is to get in there and get to it. Today, I have with me one of my greatest creations, Fishette. You can talk to the people, they can hear you, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, again, we have no format for this test. We have no idea what we're going to talk about. We have no idea what we're doing, but we're going to do it. So, what do you want to talk about today?
I have no idea.
So, we're just going to sit here and look at each other because that's not interesting. We have to make our show interesting. And, the issue at hand is, I'm 45 years old. And because I'm 45 years old, there's a lot of things that I can't relate to someone who's 13, right?
Right.
So I need you to tell me some things that 13-year-olds are into, and then I can tell you if that's some shit that we used to do, or is that some shit that we never would have done, or something along those lines. We just gonna make it up as we go along, right? What are some things that you like to do that I don't know that you like to do? Mm, mm. So
Pass.
there's no passing.
There isn't.
There is no passing. There is no passing. You have to be able to uh, say something because again, we have to. If this is something that we're going to do, then we have to make it entertaining.
It has
Right.
to be entertaining.
It has to be entertaining, and you passing is not entertaining. So just tell us something that tell the people something about you without giving too much information. Tell the people something about you that you like. It could be something that I know that you like, but tell the people that are watching some things that you like.
Um, I like to read. I like to listen to music, and I like my dad. He's cool.
Okay. What kinds of music do you like to listen to?
I listen to a lot of pop music that came out before I was born. I was born in 2010.
Hmm.
I don't like the music that's on today. It has no real value. People are just spitting words. There's no meaning to anything.
So give me an example of someone who was talking good shit back in the day that you can feel, and then give me an example of somebody who's spitting some shit today that you just don't fool with.
Um, Michael Jackson, the songs he wrote,
Mm-hmm.
even just the random disco stuff. It had it had lyrical value. It had actual content. If he was just singing about oranges, you would know exactly what kind of orange he was singing about. Um, I don't mess with Glorilla. This adult almost died from eating a tablespoon of cinnamon, and her music has no lyrical value.
Okay, and there it is. Right now, here's the thing. Uh, 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 at one point in my childhood, right? At
Right.
one point in my childhood, my mom and my dad would look at me and would question the music that I was listening to. So you have to understand that at one point, rap music wasn't a thing, right? Rap music came out 5 years before I was born, right? And because it came out 5 years before I was born, it was still kind of new. And people said that, oh, this rap thing is not gonna last. It's just a fad. And they talk bad about a lot of the artists that I listen to, right? I listen to a lot of the artists from New York, like LL Cool J, Run DMC, and the Beastie Boys, and a lot of those cats. And then, but then it really hit home for me when I listened to like people like DJ Quick and Easy E and NWA with Dr. Dre and all of them, uh, and MC8 and a lot of those cats, and they said it wouldn't last, right? One could say the same thing about people like Glorilla. People could say the same thing, like her music has no value, no substance, no anything. But who knows? It may be something that would grow on you. It's not gonna grow on me, but it might grow on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But do you think it's gonna grow on you?
I don't. And it's not it's not because I have an issue with rap music. I like rap music. I don't listen to it very often because it's not my real cup of tea. But if I can find it and I like it, I'll listen to it.
Hmm. Okay, so in that regard, what are some rap artists that you do listen to?
I like um, the artists that work with the digital underground
No, I'm talking about from today.
from today. Um, there's not many, but I do listen to some. Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, um, Lizzo, but she's under some controversy, so I got to put that down for a while. Um,
But why do you have to put that down for a while? What controversy are you talking about?
Lizzo, some people came out and said that Lizzo allegedly the woman who led the movement of body positivity
Right.
is they're saying that she's not positive towards all bodies, which
Okay.
I don't fully believe that, but they're saying that there was some sexual content to some of the things that were going on behind the scenes.
Okay. So now everybody has a right to do what they want to do, right? Everybody has a right to do what they want to do. Some people look at things and are easy. It's easy for them to say that we can separate a person's art from them being who they are, right? Some people can easily do that. Some people can say, I like Lizzo's music and I don't like what she did. I was still listening to her music, but I don't condone the actions that allegedly took place. You have to say allegedly, otherwise, they might try to come and get you, right?
Yeah.
But do you think that that's something that can exist? Uh, because you just said that you have to take a back seat for a little while because of the controversy, blah 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 blah.
So what I'm doing is I'm waiting for more information to come out so that I can
Ah,
form my own opinion.
see,
I think I think that the artist can be separated from the music, but her music it's built around who she is as a person and as an icon for body positivity. So it makes it more difficult to separate the art from the
and see,
artist.
here's the beauty in all of that because I can look at your opinion. Sometimes I look at your opinion about stuff and I'll be like, what the fuck ever. But then other times you do stuff and you say stuff and it makes me say, okay, you have a thought process and you have the mental capacity to be able to do things that people my age should be able to do. What we have a tendency as a whole to do is we have a tendency to not look at all of the information, not process everything, not take all of the information in, and then be able to make a wise decision about how your opinion should be on a particular situation. I love the fact that you just said, you know what, I don't have all of the information. And because of that, I'm just going to hold off on my opinion for what I want to say or do about, Lizzo. So I can applaud that. That's a good thing. Excuse me. That's a good thing. And again, we are right here on the worldwide internet. This is the Fish Bowl. I am Catfish, and this is my first guest, Fishette, which is my child. I
He
made her.
made me.
I made her. Yes. You know what I'm talking about? So what else are we going to talk about? And again, we don't have to talk about a whole lot because this episode don't have to be long because we're just doing a test run. We're just going to see how this is going to do. I do have some other people that I know I'm going to bring in and I'm going to have them on for a longer period of time. But this is just a test. I want to be able to test the audio interface. I want to be able to test out the oh, I just got a message. See, that's a good sign, right? When I do my intros, I need to turn my Bluetooth off
Right. So that the
so that the
notifications don't
notifications don't
disappear.
come through the board. See, that's what this is all about. This is all about us being able to clean up as we go along, right? But is there any other thing that you want to talk about before we close out this whole situation?
I have a two-part question for you.
For me, okay, let's go.
Yes. Why did you get into podcasting and what made you decide to purchase this specific podcasting equipment?
Okay, so I'm not going to say what podcasting equipment I have, not on here, right?
Yeah.
Because uh, one day we might make it big, and they might have to pay me for mentioning their name, right? So I'm not going to say what podcasting equipment I have, but what I will say is that the equipment that I purchased is uh, relatively inexpensive. You know what I'm saying? I got all of this equipment for under $250, right? Uh, and podcasting, the reason why, the reason why I am choosing to do this, right, is because a lot of the people that follow me on Facebook and on TikTok and other platforms, they say that they say two things. One is that I post a lot of stuff from a wide variety of topics that are sometimes funny, sometimes inspiring, sometimes I push the envelope with some of the shit that I say. But the other part of it is being able to reach out to people, being able to reach out to people and being able to connect with them is something that I love to do. I love to do it on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and a bunch of other places. This is just another avenue for me to do it. Uh, I have a couple of friends of mine. One of my coworkers, uh, I give all my coworkers nicknames, right? One of my coworkers, her name is number one, and another Facebook friend of mine, uh, Patrick. The both of them, including other people, have said that it is surprising to them how I have not been able to reach the masses the way that other people have been able to do. And this is just another platform for me to be able to reach out to more people, right? And additionally, this is a third thing that I didn't think about until this very moment. While I was a student, excuse me, while I was a student at Mississippi Valley State University, Delta Devils was happening. While I was a student there, I entered into the mass communications program at the university. Mass communications deals with a lot of broadcasting. Now, at the time that I was a student there, podcasting was not even a thing, right? Uh, Honestly speaking, and I know I'm about to make myself seem real old, but at the time that I was a student there, the internet was so brand new, no one even knew that the internet was going to last. It was so new. right? And I know that you got some jokes inside your head that you want to say about my age, but it is what it is. The internet was so brand new. So when we were doing broadcasting, everything wasn't digital. Everything was on reel to reel. We recorded stuff on tape and had to, in order to delete stuff, we had to get a razor blade and cut parts of the tape and splice it and put it back together, stuff like that. Uh, and then, I got into the military and did a bunch of other stuff. And then I ended up finally graduating from Norfolk State University. Behold the green and gold. I graduated from there. And while there, I finished my degree at Norfolk State. But by that time, we had already gotten into the point of being able, excuse me, being able to sort of dive into the digital side. Podcasting still was not as popular as it is now.
Because podcasting is pretty recently gathered.
Yeah, I mean,
But
if you really sit down and look at the schematics of it, podcasting, in it's at the height of its popularity now. But people have been podcasting for at least a decade now, right? And so it's just now everybody has a podcast. Like, it would be ideal for many people to look at what we are doing now, and for us to get some kind of popularity and monetization. That would be perfect. But so many people have the ability to podcast now that you have to do it now simply because you love to do it, with no expectation of, you know any popularity, or no expectation of monetization. We In the broadcasting, especially when I was in Mississippi Valley, uh, we would spend hours upon hours upon hours in the production room because we just love being there. We love dealing with the equipment. This is kind of a way for me to be able to relive those moments that I spent in the education building on the campus of Mississippi Valley State University, in the production room, creating, right? And so for me, it's all about the creativity of and the expressiveness, and being able to do so, in doing what we love to do. Uh, I'm somebody, better than I do, but better than they do. You know that I love to talk, right?
and I got that from you.
Right. But because I love to talk, I just need an audience to talk to. And because I have this audience, excuse me, I don't have to talk your ear off as much. I can leave you alone. This is an opportunity for me to leave you alone and start talking to these people.
But when have I ever asked you to leave me alone?
See, here's the beauty in all of it, right? What you don't understand and what you don't realize is that you have two, well, you have three types of communication, right? Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
We have three types of communication. Well, there's more than three types, but I'm going to focus on three, right? You have written communication, right?
Right.
Which is kind of a lost art because people don't actually write anymore.
Boo.
You have verbal communication, right?
Right.
That is me opening my mouth and allowing my words to express a message that you can comprehend, and then you in turn reply to the message that I sent you, right? Verbally. But we also have nonverbal communication. A lot of times when I am talking to you using verbal communication, the nonverbal communication on your face and in your stance and in your attitude, it lets me know that whatever I'm talking about, you ain't trying to hear that shit right now. Now, am I lying? No, I am not. Another thing that we need to do for future podcasts is the light that's on the stairs.
Turn it
We
off.
need to turn that off, right? Also, I think that it will be easier if I uh rearrange the furniture in here, and we can probably do this from the couch,
That
right?
would be nice.
That way we can sit down and we can be closer together and stuff like that. Uh, so yeah, is there any other thing you want to talk about before we close this thing out? And because I could talk all day, but I know that you can't.
I want to talk to you.
Yeah, I know you want to talk to me, but I'm talking about, do you want to talk to these people?
We can.
Yeah, but what do you want to talk to them about?
Your opinions on things.
My opinions on what kind of stuff, right? But you know what? This is what I think we're going to do, right?
We
Because
can pick this up in another
we
episode.
can we can pick this up in another episode, right? But what I want you to do is, because I realize that there's two things that's going on. Number one, I have to reposition the microphones uh, so that I can get better volume control from your mic. So that's something I'm going to work on behind the scenes. And again, we're being very transparent with our stuff. My uncle gave me this chicken, right? But that's a different thing altogether.
It's a wonderful chicken.
But you can write down some stuff about stuff that you want to talk about when we get ready to do our next episode. Then we can come in and we can record the next episode, and we'll have a better planned out situation, because this was just supposed to be a test. Uh, and the test it appears that it's going good, but we're gonna see how it works, right? And I hear a little, you hear that little feedback? Yeah, I don't know where that coming from, right? But we're gonna get that situated. And in the meantime and in between times, what I want to say to everybody is thank you for watching and listening to the very first episode of the Fish Bowl with Catfish and his very first guest, Fishhead. I don't know how often we will be posting these episodes, but just know that they are coming, they are on the way, and we will continue to come on here and talk about absolutely nothing.